Hello, guys. Thank you so much for coming to my channel today. I'm so excited to have you. If this is the first time you're visiting my channel, thank you so much for coming along. I appreciate you. Perhaps through Google search or maybe referral, however means that you came across my today, it's always a pleasure to have you here. As a first timer, I would encourage you to please click that subscribe button down there and click the notification bell. Do you know why? So that anytime I release new content, you'll be the first person to get that. And I wouldn't want you to miss any of my releases. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always trusting me and coming to my channel. I do really appreciate you. For always sharing, commenting, and liking my page. I so much appreciate you. And if this is the first time, please go ahead and like, comment, and share so that others will continue to benefit as you continue to enjoy the content. All right, so today we'll be sharing with you a very important mechanism when it comes to Scrum and Agile, which most people are not aware of, especially when you are collaborating with a product owner. Have you ever gone for a Scrum interview and perhaps the panel asks you, how would you work with your product owner? What value are you going to bring? Some questions, right? And then you keep wondering, and you kind of juggle your mind what to do. How would you help the product owner working as a Scrum Master? I mean, most people are very familiar with the Moscow technique. Perhaps you're not sure about what Moscow is. Most people are very much familiar with the deep technique in terms of user story mapping or in terms of prioritization of user story in the broader backlog. But there is one particular mechanism or one particular mechanism, I would say, that most people are not aware of. Quick, I'm going to share that. When I do encourage or work with my PO or even business analysts using these mechanisms, they love it because most of the times people are very much so engrossed with the conventional and most common thing, not realizing there are different ways to really get things done. Okay, so today, all I'm going to ask you to sit tight while I share with you this simple mechanism. And I'm hoping that we'll spend a lot of time, and I'm hoping that you're going to find this very, very interesting. Before we move ahead, I just wanted to, put it out there that I offer free mentorship when it comes to Scrum. Perhaps you're a new Scrum Master or even old Scrum Master. It's something like new and old, but you do understand what I mean. So let's just say whatever your position is when it comes to Scrum Master and you want to collaborate with another Scrum Master, or you are new to Scrum, or you are thinking of going to Scrum, and you are not sure who to connect with, what you need to do is to send me a message. Shoot me a message on this email address right there, or you connect with me on my Facebook page, as you can see the link up there, or you can even connect with me on my Instagram page. Whatever way that you feel comfortable, all you do is to please do connect with me, and let's connect as a mentor-mentee relationship, or as coachee relationship, or even as buddies, right? Please reach out and let's make this happen. All right, let's dive into the topic of today. I'm excited. And you? All right, so have you ever heard of the Kano Model? Perhaps you're not sure what Kano Model is, okay? So you need to understand there are different ways you can prioritize your user stories to delight your customers. There are different. So Kano Model is one of those ways most people are not sure of. So if you're a product owner listening to me right now, or you're a Scrum Master and you'll be working so closely with your PO, believe me, this is one thing you can bring up in your one-on-one connection with your PO. Are you ready for this? Let's dive into what I mean by this wonderful mechanism here. Okay, so now just to give you an overview of what I'm trying to share with you, the Kano model was introduced in the 1984 by this young man. I say young because when it comes to people that are very much into customer satisfaction, always so delightful. So this Japanese guy, Noraki Kano, in 1984 came up with this mechanism we call the Kano model, right? And you might be wondering, what is the specialty of Noraki Kano? He was into quality management, right? He was always looking for way, or kind of use a consultant at that point in time on how to really bring quality products or quality service to management. So this mechanism is basically about how to prioritize user stories in order to delight customers. One of the things that really summarize what you do as a Scrum Master is helping the organization to bring value. Now, the PO from the product perspective is always thinking about how do I delight the client or the customer. Now, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to Scrum and Agile, the PO is mostly concerned about the product. The PO is not someone who is so much engrossed when it comes to Scrum process. And if that is the case, then the Scrum Master is so much engrossed when it comes to the Scrum process. But that doesn't mean that the Scrum Master could not or should not collaborate with the PO. So if you're not sure how you could collaborate, this is one of the values on what you could raise when you're having a one-on-one connection. I do have my weekly touch point with my PO. So this is something that I have had conversation with PO, and we have thought about how to implement this in the product we are developing. Now, what really plays out in this Kano model? When you are prioritizing your user story, by user story, remember we have different issue types in Jira, right? In Scrum, we have epic, we have feature, we have user story, we have task, we have subtask, and all the rest. So user story, the way that user stories are written as a one that so that is the common conventional format. Now, those requirements that the PO gathers from the clients, from the customer, are all written in the form of user stories. So as far as the PO keys all of those requirements into the product backlog, now the next thing will be in order to prioritize them based on the order of hierarchy. Now, before we can go into a sprint, or before a sprint could get kick-started, there are a number of things that will be defined. One of them is to groom or refine those user stories so that we're always meeting the customer expectation. Now, to refine those, now one key thing that the PO is always struggling, or one key value it might bring, is to help the PO to prioritize those user stories so that they would always meet the customer expectation. You don't want to show the customer what should come last, leaving behind what should come first. You know what I mean? So now this kind of model is of three categories. The first category is to break those users, to prioritize those users based on basic needs. Now think about iPad or even the mobile phone you use. Think about, so many years ago, let's just say 20 years ago, the features we have then, or we had then, the features we have now, actually, we didn't have it then. For example, touch screen. Right? There are basic functionalities that must be available in order to wow the customer. These come into play when it comes to the basic need. Right? The basic need could either satisfy or dissatisfy the customer. So by basic need, we mean those features that must be available for the product to work. For example, the mobile phone that people used in the 1990s. I remember growing up, using Nokia 3310. For those of us that used Nokia 3310, it never had touchscreen. As far as it has those buttons like, dial button, text message. These are the basic needs when it comes to a mobile phone, right? Now, it went further to, enhancing some of the features there. And we started having like, touch screen, we started having like flipping, we started having, those things that were sort of enhancing the basic things that were already available. Now, the second thing when it comes to the Kano model is the performance need, which is the additional functionality. Now, when you are prioritizing the user stories in the product backlog, now you are going to work with people. What is the basic need that must be available in this user story? Does that make sense? Sometimes people leave the basic need and then jump into the additional need, right? Just like we have human beings, we have three basic needs. Have food, clothing, we have shelter. Now, after these three basic needs, people think about luxury, right? People think about different things. But for all of these luxurious things to happen, you need at least food, you need at least clothing, you need at least shelter. So the basic needs are the things that must be there. So what I used to do is when I'm collaborating with my PO to refine those user stories, I ask the PO, what are the basic things that must be in this user story? Now, sometimes people don't even pay attention. So the PO will say, okay, I think the basic need is XYZ. With that said, we go into the performance need. What are the additional things, right, or to enhance the user experience, right? And we kind of think about something to enhance. And then we talked about the features that would excite people. Just for example, sometime September this year of 2023, Apple announced, iPhone 13 Pro Max, or iPhone 15, if I may say, iPhone 15 in September of 2023. And then there were a lot of features. People were so excited, things that we are built on the basic things. So that applies to user stories. By user stories, think about user stories as requirements. Right? You want to go for a vacation, you want to travel for a vacation. I mean, you need to have some pocket money with you. You need to think about your destination. There are things you might happen to, have as an additional things to do while you're on vacation. Those things might be like things that could excite you, but you need to have money in your pocket. You need to get your flight ticket, depending on your means of travel. So as a Scrum, think about these three basic things when you are refining or grooming your stories in the product backlog, especially product backlog refinement session. Do you have your basic needs? Do you have your performance needs? And do you have features that will excite or delight your users? Believe me, when you raise this Kano model with your PO, he or she will love it. Thank me later for sharing this with you. Now, I'm going to ask you, have you ever considered the Kano model in grooming your stories for value-driven nature of your stories? If not, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. All you need to do is let me know what you're thinking in the comment section. If you have a question for me, shoot. And then let's talk more about the Kano model to prioritize the user story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to the channel. I so much appreciate you always. All you need to do for me, please do help me to share this content, like and comment. And then let's continue to build this community of practice. I do appreciate you. I hope to see you next time. In the meantime, stay well. Bye for now.